I'm going to show you guys how to make bigger Christmas trees using all Dollar Tree stuff. So I buy the 15-foot garland. That way I can cut it to the size I want, and you actually get 3 more feet if you buy it in the garland instead of buying just the strips of garland. And then I also have 6 of the Dollar Tree Christmas trees. So after you take your tree out of the package, at the very top of the tree, you're going to see a hole. That's actually what we're going to be using to make these trees bigger. So I bought, I think those are called skewers. They're in the cooking section. Last year when I made these, I actually used wooden rods, and they were in the crafter section. They didn't have any this time when I looked, so I just bought these skewers, and they work just as fine. I just had to use, sometimes I use 2 of them, sometimes I use 3. So for this one, I am using 3 of them. Next, I am grabbing a second tree, and I'm just taking the bottom off. It just pops right off. And that is where we're going to put half of the wooden skewers in. So we're going to put half of it into the top of the first tree, and then half of it into the bottom of the second tree. And I used hot glue just to help secure it. Alright, I know it's looking a little sad right now, but it will look good once we're done. So I take a third Christmas tree, and then I pop off the bottom to this, and then I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take my skewers, I'm going to put it on top of the one that is actually in the middle now, and then I'll put the other half of the skewers into the bottom of the third one. I noticed on some of the trees you can't see the top part too well where the hole is, so I just take a pair of scissors and I put it in the middle and just kind of move it around, and then I'm able to find where the top of the hole is. Next, I'm going to take 2 more trees, and I'm going to do the same thing I did to the first step. So I'm going to insert half the skewers into a top of a tree and then half into the bottom of the tree to connect them. So I used 3 trees for my first one, and then my second one is going to have 2 Christmas trees, and then my third one is just 1 of the Christmas trees. So here's how they look right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the garland to fill them in. So to do this, I take the piece of garland and I just put it from one side of the branch to the other just to see roughly how big it should be. And then I cut a few pieces at a time. I know obviously I'm probably going to need at least 3 pieces of garland in between each section. You can see that this garland does cut pretty easy with using just scissors. It does have wire in the middle of the garland. So that's how we get it to hold onto the tree. So I put a piece of garland around it and I just twist it. So one side of the garland will be on the back and then the other side will be on the front. And like I said, I use about 3 pieces of the garland in between each section. So the branches on the bottom of the middle tree, they do stick out quite a bit. So what I do, instead of cutting them, I actually just kind of bend them a little bit. It helps make the tree look more fuller, and then that way the branches will also be shorter, so there's not just some like long branches in the middle of the tree. Now I'm bending the branches on the top tree just like I did for part of the middle tree. Here's how they look so far. You can use more garland if you want. Like I said, I used 3 packs of the garland, but I wanted my trees to be a little bit more thinner. I think that's what's so fun about this project, is you can make them as tall as you want or as thick as you want, as thin as you want, with using all the Dollar Tree supplies. So now I'm actually going to add a little bit of color to them. I want my trees to have like the white frost look. So I'm just using actually my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Last year when I made these trees, I used the spray snow, and I did buy that from the Dollar Tree. They do not have them out yet. At least my Dollar Tree did not have it out yet. If you do decide to use the spray snow, I suggest putting your lights on first. We sprayed ours and then put the lights on, and it ended up making a huge mess, and I ended up having to spray them again. So just keep that in mind. If you do want lights on them, put the lights on first and then spray it. It is a lot quicker to spray, but it does make a big mess. They do sell Flock Snow. I have heard of that. I've actually never purchased it or have used it at all, but I heard that Amazon sells it. So maybe if I can find some, maybe I'll link it below if anybody's interested. I know I've been wanting to try it. If anybody's tried it and they like it, let me know as well, because I am curious how well it actually works. So it is a little hard to see in the camera. You kind of see the paint on there. It does look a lot better in person than it does on the camera. I do take a couple of photos. Hopefully you can see it a little bit better in there. But once I put the lights on, then you can really see it. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. If you want to see more Christmas DIYs and actually Christmas decorating, please subscribe and give this a thumbs up. So like I said, I add lights to mine. You can add ribbons to it. You can do ornaments. I think I may end up finding a ribbon that I like and using it as a topper and then have the ribbon kind of hang down a little bit. So this is the lights I end up using. Those are from the Dollar Tree, and the first pack I just got from a local grocery store last year. But I also want to show some of these other Dollar Tree lights that I found. So these ones are snowflakes. I know they're a little bit hard to see in the camera. I'll take it out of the package in a minute so you can see it better. The Dollar Tree actually had a lot of options on their lights this year. I was kind of impressed with them, but these were just a couple of my favorites. So snowflake ones, and then I don't even know how to explain these ones. I haven't put batteries in them yet to turn them on. I'm curious how they work, but I thought they were neat. So for this first string of lights, I'm going to use it on my biggest tree and then the medium tree. And then for the pack that I got from a Dollar Tree, I end up using on just the small tree. And then for the tree skirt for this, I used my daughter's blanket. Hopefully she won't notice it's not on her bed. But just to let anyone know that the Dollar Tree does sell tree skirts. They are mini tree skirts, so if you want to do one on each tree, you can. Last year, I ended up finding a buffalo check tablecloth that I liked, and I actually just used that. But you can, like I said, use the blankets. You don't even need a tree skirt, honestly. But if you want, there are different options for this. Even grabbing like a piece of fabric that maybe Joann's or Hobby Lobby has on sale, you can use. But here is how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you want to see more Christmas DIYs and Christmas decorating, please subscribe and give this a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.